Phases of the Moon, a brief introduction by Emily King. Today we're going to be talking about the phases of the moon and why we have them. So the moon is Earth's natural satellite that is visible by reflected light from the sun. So the question is, why do we see different moon phases? We see different moon phases because the Earth is constantly rotating around the sun. The moon is rotating around the Earth. So at different points, different parts of the moon are lit up. This diagram is able to show you better the 8 different phases of the moon. You can see that as the Earth's position moves, the sun's position moves, causing different parts of the moon to be reflected. It is important to note that exactly 1/2 of the moon is always lit up by the sun. So it just depends on where you are standing, which half is lit up. Now we are going to look at each individual moon phase and discuss what the moon is doing at this phase and what it looks like to an observer standing on Earth. So the first moon phase we're going to discuss is new moon. This is when the half of the sun we see is almost complete darkness, and this is typically the beginning of the moon phase cycle. So this is what starts the first moon phase. Next we're going to look at waxing crescent. This is when less than half of the moon is lit up, and the part we see lit up is growing. So think of adding more wax onto something. The next phase is the first quarter moon, and that's approximately when half of the moon is lit up. This is again when the half we see lit up is growing, so there's more of the moon being seen. After first quarter, we have waxing gibbous. This is when more than half of the moon is illuminated, and the half we see lit up is continuing to grow. After we see the new moon, this is when the moon seems to be entirely lit up. The whole moon is visible, and this is when the sun is shining directly on the side that we see from Earth. After, we start to see the waning gibbous. This is when more than half of the moon is still lit up, but the part we see lit up is shrinking. Less of the moon is visible. Following the waxing crescent, we have third quarter moon. This is when roughly half of the moon is lit up, and the half that we see lit up is shrinking. Finally, we have the waning crescent. This is when less than half of the moon is lit up, and the half we see lit up is shrinking. Following the waning crescent, we go back to the new moon. Here you can see all the moon phases together and how they are viewed in a 28-day month. This means it takes the moon 4 weeks to complete its moon phases. I hope you learned a lot about our introduction to moon phases, and we will continue to look at the moon and its phases more throughout the semester. Have a great day.